What if I told you that living paycheck to paycheck is not just a budgeting problem, and not even entirely your fault? What if the real reason you feel broke every month has less to do with your salary and more to do with invisible systems, psychological traps, and habits that quietly drain your money before you even touch it? Here's the mystery. Millions of people get raises, millions increase their income, yet most of them stay trapped in the same financial stress loop, waiting for the next paycheck just to breathe again. So the real question is not, how do I make more money? The real question is, why does more money not fix the problem? By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden forces that keep people stuck, the exact moment where most people lose control of their finances, and the proven money habits that actually break the cycle, not temporary tricks, but permanent change. But first, we need to rewind. To understand why paycheck to paycheck living is so common today, we need to look at how money used to work. Decades ago, the average household had fewer expenses, housing costs were lower relative to income, education was cheaper, healthcare was simpler, subscription culture didn't exist. You didn't pay monthly fees for entertainment, apps, cloud storage, fitness platforms, food delivery memberships, and digital services. Money moved slower. People saved first, then spent. Today, the system has flipped. You're encouraged to spend first and figure it out later. Credit cards make future money feel like present money. Buy now pay later makes debt feel painless. Advertising follows you everywhere. Social media, YouTube, emails, apps, constantly whispering, you deserve this. This didn't happen by accident. Financial institutions realized something powerful. People who stay financially stressed are more profitable than people who are financially free. Stress creates consumption. Consumption creates debt. Debt creates dependency. And dependency keeps the machine running. But here's where it gets personal. Almost nobody chooses to live paycheck to paycheck on purpose. It usually starts innocently. You get your first job, you finally earn money, you'll upgrade your lifestyle, better phone, better clothes, better food, better entertainment. This feels logical. You worked hard, you've earned it. But something subtle happens next. Your expenses rise to meet your income. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most dangerous financial traps because it feels normal. You don't feel irresponsible. You don't feel reckless. You just feel comfortable. Until one day, comfort turns into pressure. Rent goes up. Bills increase. Subscriptions multiply. Unexpected expenses hit. Suddenly your paycheck doesn't stretch as far. So what do most people do? They don't cut expenses. They don't change habits. They adapt emotionally. They normalize being broke at the end of every month, and that's when the cycle officially begins. Once the cycle starts, it feeds itself. Here's how it grows. You feel financial stress, gives you seek. Comfort gives you spend money to feel better, gives money disappears, gives stress increases, gives repeat. This isn't weakness, it's psychology. When you're tired, overworked, and mentally drained, your brain wants fast relief. That relief often comes in the form of spending food, shopping, entertainment, small rewards, and the system is built to make this effortless. One-click purchases, saved payment methods, instant approvals, microtransactions. Every small purchase feels harmless, but together they quietly eat your future. Now here's where things get worse. As your margin shrinks, meaning you have less money left after expenses, your risk increases. One medical bill, one car repair, one emergency, and suddenly you're forced to borrow. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans. This creates the second layer of the trap, interest. Now you're not just paying for your life, you're repaying extra for past decisions. And every month, interest takes a cut before you even start. This is when many people reach the breaking point. The breaking point usually doesn't come quietly. It hits emotionally. You check your bank account and feel your stomach drop. You delay bills. You avoid checking balances. You feel embarrassed talking about money. You tell yourself, once I make more money, this will be over. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Without changing habits, higher income often makes the problem bigger, not smaller, because higher income usually comes with higher lifestyle expectations. Better apartment, better car, more social pressure, more spending opportunities. So instead of escaping the trap, people build a larger cage. This is why doctors, engineers, and high earners can still live paycheck to paycheck. It's not about income alone, it's about control. And control is built through habits, not motivation, not luck, not quick hacks. But before we talk about solutions, we need to expose something else. Living paycheck to paycheck doesn't just affect your wallet, it affects your health, your relationships, your mental clarity, your long-term future. Financial stress is linked to anxiety and depression, poor sleep, constant mental exhaustion, relationship conflict, burnout at work, and perhaps the most dangerous effect, it kills long-term thinking. When you're stuck surviving month to month, you stop planning for the future. Retirement feels far away. Investing feels impossible. Wealth feels unrealistic. You shift into survival mode. And survival mode is expensive. Because people in survival mode make emotional decisions, avoid long-term strategies, chase short-term relief, which keeps them stuck. This is exactly why most quick fixes fail. You've probably heard the usual advice. Just budget harder. Stop buying coffee. Track every dollar. Use this app. But here's the problem. Most advice focuses on tools, not behavior. You can download the best budgeting app in the world, but if your habits don't change, nothing changes. You can cut coffee, but if you don't control impulse spending, you'll leak money elsewhere. You can track expenses, but if you don't build saving systems, you'll still live on the edge. The reason people fail is not lack of information. It's lack of systems that work automatically, and this is where the real transformation begins. But before we reveal the exact habits that break the cycle, we need to connect this story to what's happening right now, because history is repeating itself in ways most people don't see. Before we talk about solutions, you need to understand something important. The paycheck to paycheck crisis is not shrinking, it's accelerating. Across the world, more people than ever are working harder, yet feeling poorer. Wages grow slowly, living costs rise fast, housing becomes less affordable, debt becomes normalized. This creates a dangerous illusion. People appear stable on the surface, phones, cars, social media, lifestyles, but underneath, many are one emergency away from financial collapse. And here's the repeating pattern. When economic pressure rises, people don't immediately change habits. They adapt emotionally first. They delay payments. They rely on credit. They reduce savings. They tell themselves it's temporary. But temporary survival slowly becomes permanent dependency. This is exactly what happened during previous financial downturns, and it's happening again right now. So the question becomes, how do some people escape while others stay stuck? The answer isn't luck. It's systems and habits built in the right order. Let's break them down. Most people follow this order. 1. Get paid. 2. Pay bills. 3. Spend what's left. 4. Save, if possible. This guarantees failure. Why? Because what's left is usually nothing. Wealthy and financially stable people reverse the order. 1. Get paid. 2. Save first. 3. Pay bills. 4. Live on the remainder. This is called paying yourself first, and it works because it removes willpower from the equation. You don't rely on motivation. You rely on automation. The moment money hits your account, a portion is automatically moved to savings or investments. Even if it's small, 5%, 10%, or even $20, the habit matters more than the amount. Why? Because it trains your brain to treat saving as non-negotiable. Over time, your lifestyle adapts downward instead of upward. And that single shift changes everything. The biggest reason people stay paycheck to paycheck is not spending. It's lack of margin. Margin is the space between your income and your expenses. When that space is zero, every problem becomes a crisis. The solution: build a buffer. Start with a mini emergency fund, even $500 to $1,000. This small cushion does 3 powerful things. 1. It reduces panic spending. 2. It prevents debt during emergencies. 3. It gives you psychological breathing room. Once panic disappears, decision-making improves, you stop reacting, you start planning, and planning is where financial freedom begins. Most people try to be better with money. That rarely works. Instead, successful people remove decision-making. They automate savings transfers, bill payments, investment contributions. Why is this powerful? Because humans are inconsistent. Systems are not. When money moves automatically, you don't forget. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't get emotional. You simply follow the structure. This turns good behavior into default behavior, and default behavior shapes your future. Now let's talk about the invisible enemy. Not big purchases. Small, repeated leaks. Subscriptions you forgot about. Delivery fees. impulse buys, convenience spending, individually small, collectively devastating. Here's the rule. If money leaves your account without conscious intention, it's a leak. Once per month, audit your expenses. Ask, do I actually use this? Does this improve my life? Would future me thank me for this purchase? Cutting leaks doesn't mean living miserably. It means aligning spending with priorities, and that shift alone can free hundreds of dollars per month. Yes, income matters, but not in the way most people think. Many people chase side hustles randomly, burn out, and quit. The smarter approach: increase income where effort compounds. That means skills that increase salary, certifications that unlock promotions, businesses at scale, investments that grow passively. The key idea: don't trade more hours for money forever. Trade skills for leverage. Leverage is how you escape time-based survival. Here's what happens when these habits stack. Month 1, you feel uncomfortable. Month 3, you feel stable. Month 6, you feel confident. Month 12, you feel in control. The emotional shift is massive. Money stops feeling like a constant emergency. You start planning, long-term thinking, strategically investing, building wealth. This is the moment the paycheck cycle breaks. Not because you became rich, but because you became financially intentional. Let's be honest, most people won't follow this advice. Not because it's hard, but because it's boring. No excitement, no overnight miracles, no flashy shortcuts, just consistency. And consistency is rare, but that's exactly why it works. Final takeaways: remember these 3 things. 1. Income alone will not save you. Without habits, more money creates bigger problems. 2. Systems beat motivation. Automate your finances and remove emotional decision-making. 3. Small changes compound into massive results. One habit today becomes financial freedom tomorrow. If you ignore this, the cycle continues. More stress, more debt, more dependence, more regret. Time will pass anyway. The only question is, will you still be stuck 1 year from now? Or will you finally take control? If this video helped you understand money in a new way, like the video. It tells the algorithm this message matters. Subscribe for more real financial education. Comment freedom if you're ready to break the paycheck cycle. And remember, you don't need to be rich to stop living paycheck to paycheck. You just need the right habit.